Now, while we are just a couple of weeks out from the release of the book of Boba Fett, a lot of Star Wars fans are also heavily focused on when the marketing is going to start for the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series, the filming of the Ahsoka Tano TV show starring Rosario Dawson, and more to come as well for the Bad Batch Season 2 that's also going to become a part of Star Wars 2022. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, I am on Twitter at Mike01 if you guys want to go ahead and give me a follow on there. I do post a couple of entertaining things on there from time to time, and make sure to interact with you guys further. So what's really exciting is the fact that we are just getting very close to the Boba Fett series. I mean, so far, so good. Everything is looking crisp. Everything is looking very in line with what Robert Rodriguez is aiming to do with Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, combining a lot of Star Wars legends and combining it with the new as well, and kind of just aiming towards a better future for Star Wars as a whole, right? So with that being said, one thing that a lot of fans have been very focused on as well is whether or not George, John, and Dave are able to pull things off with, of course, everything related to the new Star Wars universe, right? The new expanded universe that's going to be a combination of movies, TV shows, be it live action or animated, books, novels, comics, and let's not forget about the video games. I mean, I'm sure that you guys saw Star Wars Eclipse. I do suggest that you guys go ahead and check that out, because that is one hell of an amazing experience when it comes to cinematics. So, moving forward beyond all of this, we already know that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni have a very in-depth plan of how they're going to be using a lot of elements from the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels in live-action form. We already know that Ezra, Sabine Wren, and Grand Admiral Thrawn are making their way into the Ahsoka Tano series, and we're going to be learning about more major characters coming our way for that show in the coming weeks, so keep your eyes open. So, what's really exciting, however, is that with both Disney and Lucasfilm now focused on their new Star Wars TV shows and movies that are currently in different phases of development, creators Jon Favreau, George Lucas, and Dave are putting in all of their effort to bring Star Wars on the right path. Now, further, it's described, however, that they are planning something huge for the Ahsoka Tano series that is best described to be astronomical changes to the Star Wars universe. It's noted that they are planning to use the World Between Worlds to change many moments in Star Wars history during the Ahsoka Tano series for Disney+. One drastic change that they will be implementing using the World Between Worlds is brand new meanings to the death of Darth Vader and Anakin Skywalker. It's described that Lucasfilm plans to have Ahsoka Tano enter into the World Between Worlds, where she is set to interact with one of the portals that will bring her to the very moment that Anakin finds himself in conflict, as he watches his son getting hit by Palpatine's Force lightning. Now, aside from that, both Favreau and Filoni are planning to have Ahsoka reach out to Vader through the World Between Worlds in order to help guide him with what, of course, conflict he's going through, and reminding him that he is indeed Anakin Skywalker, and that he needs to save his bloodline by saving Luke to bring real balance to the Force. Ahsoka Tano is described to hold great knowledge about the past and aspects of the future in the World Between Worlds, and knows about everything that Luke must go through in order to achieve the balance. So, let me just stop right here for 1 second, because this is actually interesting. This is basically the same thing of what happened with Ezra Bridger during his time in the World Between Worlds, where he got to actually look through the window of one of the portals, saw that Ahsoka Tano was fighting Vader, he pulled her through the portal into that realm, saving her upon death. That, to me, was a big change. You can only imagine what would have really happened if Ezra did not save Ahsoka Tano, and also what would have happened to Darth Vader. You know, it's like a butterfly effect, essentially. It changes everyone's path. Now, we're doing something similar. Of course, George, John, and Dave are doing pretty much something that fans would have never expected to have happened. Ahsoka Tano using these portals to reach Darth Vader / Anakin during his conflict, watching Luke getting electrocuted, to basically push him on the edge of becoming Anakin again and pretty much saving his son. Some fans I can see may not like this approach, other fans may very well enjoy this. Moving on. So, in addition to all of this, many elements of the sequel trilogy movies are also aimed to be changed using this realm that will have a pretty big impact on how fans perceive the sequel trilogy movies. It's described that they are going to be making serious retcons to the sequel trilogy films using the world between worlds in order to create a new turn of events for the entire Skywalker saga. Now, Ahsoka Tano is set to help guide characters that stretch across the entire Skywalker saga, to help guide those such as Anakin and Luke, given that during this time period, Ahsoka is the one who knows most about the world between worlds. They are using her as a messenger, in a sense, to change specific ripple effects in the Star Wars timeline that, of course, though may be controversial to some fans, it's also something that Favreau is pushing to make things more satisfactory for some of the fans that have issues with the sequel trilogy movies. Now, here's the real kicker. The World Between Worlds sequence is also said to have something big involving the character of Ben Solo, and how Ahsoka Tano is going to reach out to him in a very unexpected way for the fans. It's unclear if Adam Driver will be doing any voiceover work for Ahsoka, or of course the Ahsoka sequence I should say, or even coming back as a cameo. But it's safer to say that he will be inserted into ambiguous ways where he cannot clearly be seen, to avoid going through angles, of course, to get Adam Driver on board on such short notice. Now, the interaction between, of course, Ahsoka and Ben Solo is said to have a big effect on the events that happen in The Rise of Skywalker, and it's said to also involve new Jedi lore as well. Now, here's the thing that I think a lot of fans absolutely need to be aware of, is the fact that the World Between Worlds, I don't know if you guys saw Star Wars Rebels, I do suggest that you guys go ahead and check out that episode. That really kind of gives you a lot of knowledge about the Jedi lore and about this, magical realm that we never really saw before that. Dave Filoni, in a sense, wanted to create his own version of time travel. Now, about time travel, alright, it's actually time travel in its own version, alright, it's completely different than how time travel works in movies like Back to the Future, for example. This is being done essentially through portals. The thing about this that I think a lot of fans might have issues with is because it does kind of interact with some of the most famous moments in Star Wars history, including the moment in which Darth Vader bounces back to Anakin and saves his son. I, however, don't really have a big problem with Ahsoka Tano kind of pushing him over the edge to becoming Anakin again. I mean, yes, I know some fans out there would like him to become Anakin on his own, the way it should be, the way it already is. But essentially what George, John, and Dave are trying to do is that they're really trying to kind of create more connections between these characters across space and time. And I think that might be, in a sense, to some fans out there, labeled as overreaching. But I think it's kind of creative. I think the fact that George, John, and Dave are using and utilizing the World Between Worlds in a way to bring balance to the Force, I actually like this. And the fact that we have Ahsoka Tano, a well-written and well-respected character that's going to be doing this through the portals, is also interesting. The fact that she's going to have some form of interaction with Ben Solo, and how that's going to have a big impact on The Rise of Skywalker, that really also is something to actually think about here. It's exactly what kind of interaction can we expect to see between Ahsoka and Ben Solo, and how it's going to really change elements of Episode 9. So, overall, guys, let me know what you think about all of this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.